Hey friends, welcome to Wheel of Wishes. This is going to be a phenomenal day filled with literal wishes being granted through Make A Wish Nebraska. Our friends at BMG and Scheels have supported us. We, of course, can't be live out there today, but what we can do is what we will always do, and that's help make an impact in our community. Today, I have people that are going to help you understand that impact and hopefully help you join the community of people that are helping Make A Wish Nebraska, influencing local wish kids right here in our state, right here in our community. The first person I have to introduce is our friend Missy from Make A Wish Nebraska. Hi, Missy.
Good morning. How are you? It's Wheel of Wishes.
Oh, look, it's bright and early. I'm like, still cracking my neck and everything, but I am so ready to go. And I know that you've been waiting on this moment for a few days now, just a few days.
Just a few days, weeks, months.
Like it happens all year round. Why not?
Right? It's always one of my favorite days of the whole year. And I'm sad that we can't all be together, but I love that we get to still do this, right?
Yes. And in a year like 2020, when so many things seem to be off, it's nice to have something that's completely on. And in this way, we're virtual. So it's there forever and ever.
Right. Right. Just like Make A Wish will be in KFRX.
Oh, I like that. I like
Right?
that. We also have joining with us a former Wish kid, current board member, and volunteer for Make A Wish, Jeremy.
That's right. Hey guys, I'm once a wish kid, always a wish kid. I'm happy to be here with you all, and it's nice to see you guys virtually.
Now, Jeremy, when did your wish get granted?
My wish got granted, I think in 2007. I was only 12 years old at the time.
Wow.
And I was approached by a social worker at Children's Hospital in Omaha, and they planted the idea in my mind. And at the time, I just kind of wanted to fight the disease and get through things. But they were the first ones to kind of plant the idea of Make-A-Wish. And from there, I've had obviously great experience, which we'll get into.
Man, and Missy, I feel like you said this before, but once you're a wish kid once, you don't grow out of being a wish kid.
Right. I mean, like I feel kind of bad calling a grown man a kid. But like you're kind of always part of this family. And, like I've been to our national conference and we've had, some celebrities there. But the people I'm really always excited to see are the wish kids. Like those are my rock stars, and those are the people that, put a fire in my heart. And so, yeah, it's, having Jeremy join our board, and yes, he will forever be referred to as a wish kid. I'm sorry. But I'm not. It really is. Hopefully it's a title he wears proudly.
Yes.
And Jeremy, it was nearly a decade ago that you got to experience Make A Wish Nebraska for the first time. Tell us your story, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So really it all started when I was, again, about 11 or 12 years old. I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And at the time, I was a previously very healthy kid. I'd get occasionally like a little virus or a little sore throat, but I felt particularly sick this winter and lost a lot of weight. I got so weak that it was hard to even walk on my own anymore. So went to Children's Hospital in Omaha, and immediately got very invasive. We started doing surgery, biopsies, imaging, things I was very obviously fearful of, and quickly got the diagnosis of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. From there, it was a year of my world was turned upside down. So chemotherapy, different pills I had to take at home. I wasn't able to see my friends very much because I was immunosuppressed. I was taken out of school. And so pretty much everything that I was used to turned upside down, and my whole family was pretty focused on my condition and being at Children's Hospital and making sure that they could be at all my appointments and hoping that I would come out the other end healthy and happy.
And how did Make A Wish Nebraska in that process really change the way you viewed the condition?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I really, when I was undergoing treatment, to be quite honest, the last thing I wanted to do was think about anything else. I just kind of wanted to go back to school, be with my friends. And so for a little while, I was resistant to even having my wish granted. And I felt like there were also a lot of other kids who deserved it more than me. And after talking to social workers and my parents a lot about it, I decided to talk more with the wish granters. And obviously I'm so happy I did. I felt like from there, I was able to tell them what was special to me, which at the time was a laptop computer. And now it seems funny because I feel like kids in elementary school probably have laptops. But back then, as a 12-year-old, it was like a really big deal to have a laptop. And I could stay connected with my friends. And it meant that my world would be a little bit more normal, that I could, just like we're experiencing now, if we didn't have our computers, what would we do? You know, it's a way to stay connected and to stay entertained during a time when I was worried about getting sick. So, yeah, I got involved with Make-A-Wish at that time. And like Missy said, I got to meet other Wish kids, and that had a huge impact on me as well.
Missy, can you tell me about meeting Jeremy for the first time when wish was being granted?
Yeah. So Jeremy's wish was before I was with Make-A-Wish. I've been with Make-A-Wish 10 years now. And Jeremy called me as a senior in high school and asked, talked to me about wanting to volunteer, and I'm going to be honest, like I get those calls sometimes, especially from high school students, and the follow through, I'll be honest, isn't always there. And, so as Jeremy and I are talking, and I'm kind of just trying to understand, like, like, is he doing this for class, for, the, volunteer hours that seniors have to do, or kind of, what's his commitment? And then he says, well, I got my wish a few years ago, and I'm like, wait, what? Again, like my reaction to Wish kids are they're rock stars, and Jeremy has absolutely been a rock star. And so he came out and spoke at some events for me, and I've since learned like he didn't really talk about his experience prior to that, so I kind of feel bad that I, kind of just shoved him out in front of crowds of people, but I was just in awe of him, right? I mean, he's just such a remarkable man, and was a remarkable, high school senior. And I was just wowed by his maturity. And I'll be honest, like I think we find this with a lot of our Wish kids. They've faced something that even most adults haven't faced, and they've been around adults so much and interacting with them that there's just a wisdom and an energy about them that just kind of draws you in. And we've just been so blessed to have him help be an ambassador for us. It's pretty remarkable.
Jeremy, as this time has continued for you, what is the impact that you've seen on others as a volunteer?
Yeah, that's a great question, because, like I was talking about before, the impact that Make had on me was very significant. But between my treatment and then when I contacted Missy to start volunteering, I thought about those other kids that I had met who had their wishes granted, and I got to see a lot of stories online, like I'm sure a lot of our listeners have, which are so amazing. And I just kept thinking, what can I do to make my experience into something more positive instead of just trying to forget about it? And I've seen, especially being on the board now, getting to see sort of the back end, and all these kids who, younger than me, older than me, when I was diagnosed, all these different conditions, but they all sort of, I can imagine them going through a similar process where, they get to pick whatever it is that they want, the one wish, and then we get to make it into a reality. So I would say it gives me a lot of energy, and it gives me a sense of purpose to continue to see these wishes get granted. And it's just very cool to be a part of it.
And it's a community that's constantly growing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to cover a couple of things. So when people think about the children or people that are eligible for Make-A-Wish wishes, it's not always terminal, correct?
Right. So many people still believe that myth that we are only for terminally ill children. And so always grateful for the opportunity to share. Our kids are battling something that typically is defined as progressive, degenerative, or malignant. So it certainly is considered a critical illness. And but a lot of our kids, like Jeremy, get better. I mean, Jeremy's, I'm going to brag on him for a minute. I mean, he's a third-year medical student, and in the middle of medical school, also, took a year and got his MBA because, that's, medical school wasn't hard enough on its own, like, right? Um, I mean, he already has made an impact, right? I mean, he started an organization, he's done all kinds of things. And so, yeah, our kids go on to lead these really amazing lives and, impact all of those around them. So we're really lucky that, people will say to me, like, this must be a really hard or really sad job. And it's like, well, absolutely, there are those days. But for the most part, it's just a lot of fun and it's joyful.
Yeah.
Because we are making, wishes come true. Like, it's fun. It's playing, right?
Replacing sadness with joy.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're literally making those wishes come true.
Yeah.
Jeremy, if there's something that you can say to a young person, someone who, let's say they're 18 to 25 and they're looking at this, they're saying, you know what, I've heard of Make a Wish and I do want to volunteer. What's something that they should know about volunteering for Make a Wish Nebraska?
I think what they should know is that the organization is the sort of amazing things that you can see in these videos and the stories that you read about online. It goes far beyond just the video. I feel like it's a culture that permeates through the whole organization. Everybody's like just all in for these kids, and it's very exciting that they're the focus of just all of our energy. And so, if you're a young person and there's a special place in your heart that you have for kids with critical conditions, and especially to be something like a wish granter. I'm an airport greeter, and so being able to just play even a small part of the wish granting experience is very meaningful. And so, and we're happy to have volunteers. I've worked with a lot of them, and they're great people. And again, being able to see wishes come true before your eyes and playing a part in that process is pretty amazing.
And people can get involved when they go to wish.org/Nebraska, right?
Yep.
And how many volunteers do you currently have, Missy? Do you know?
I think across the state, we've got about 350 volunteers, whether that's again, on our board, that our airport greeters, which obviously are kind of quiet right now because we aren't doing travel wishes, but our wish granters, people who help us plan events, some people who come in and help out in the office. One of our kind of unsung heroes for our volunteers are scrapbookers. They make these custom, beautiful scrapbooks of the wish experience for our kids, and so that's
so amazing.
It is a team effort for sure. We have 11 staff across the state, and there's no way we could do it all without our volunteers. They are the heart and soul of how we can do what we do.
You have to get involved. Wish.org/Nebraska. Here's something else you can do. If you're like, I'm stuck in, or I can't go blank and I can't do blank. You have a phone or a computer, you watch the video, KFRXFM.com. Today is all about celebrating these stories and honoring those who have helped create wishes and grant wishes with Make a Wish Nebraska. So it's called Wheel of Wishes. If you head to KFRXFM.com, you can actually help grant a wish. You can help a wish kid like Jeremy. You can help a wish kid like Eli, who we'll be talking to later on. And you can make sure that their life looks amazing. I mean, Jeremy, third-year medical school? Are you serious, man? Come on. And then stop to get the MBA in between. Nothing is impossible when it comes to making wishes happen. That's a wish right now, and that's a wish for the rest of their life. And you can be a part of that impact right now at KFRXFM.com. Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us. And it's a small thing. I don't think we've said this, but Jeremy and I went to college together.
We did. We did.
Jeremy and I went to college together, and I was able to see the impact that he made when he started a student organization called Students Together Against Cancer. And it was incredibly impactful. I saw so many lives change, and I got to be a part of it myself. So for that, I can say that I've seen firsthand Jeremy's advocacy work, and it is wonderful. Jeremy, thank you so much, man.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And Missy, thanks for joining us. We'll be talking to you soon, okay?
Absolutely. Thanks for being back on board with us. We're excited. It's going to be a good day.
Woo, let's do it. Make a Wish Nebraska, KFRXFM.com to donate for our Wheel of